no, Dilly is an amazing hunter. He's one of the best hunters in the
Yeah.
of course. But, you know, jungle in this matchup, they're not going to be too favored. And Benruki is 100% right on that Cloud9 prediction. And look at that. We got the man of the hour himself, Dilly. Same look as in that picture. He knows. Yep, there it is. Saying a little prayer before he goes in.
Well, I thought that was
the
like
Major Warlock.
Okay.
Look how much fun he's having. He's like, dumb. Already getting blizzarded.
You cannot love Dilly, man.
Already
Yeah,
getting
you're right.
blizzarded.
Just so right.
Yeah.
Just laughing through this.
Already snared behind the
goodness.
pillar. I don't. It's just such a difficult match for them, but we'll see. One thing Cloud9 does really, really well is they try to split Dressed Gath damage by standing on their pets. So bringing over the water elemental in their time of need. You see Wealthy Man maneuvering it next to him, and that's just so when Cyfoxy and Dilly go for their big Dressed Gath all-ins, it's just going to split the damage, making it basically half as effective, if not more, if he's stacked with even more pets. So it kind of takes away a win condition from Turtle, and just one of those little things Cloud9 does to play into their advantage.
Cubsy's playing Conflict. Like if there was any hope of trying to get a bursty kill, I mean, I think all three of them are playing Conflict. Cloud9 want this to go late, deep damp. So can a turtle make it to the water really here against Cloud9 in game number 1? A Frozen Orb is just cleaving them at the pillar. Triple Shadow Fury, Chaos Bolts, Blizzard. Look at them. They're just pinned at the pillar. Do they go out in midfield? They're surely just going to get blasted, but they're not exactly looking too good sitting at the pillar either. They're trying to push out. Now they're feared away. They bash Wealthy Man. Dilly jumps in, looking for a freezing trap. Gets caught in a polymorph. Infernal called in onto Cyfoxy. Big damage. He left the pillar for a second. He barely almost goes down. Gex picks him back up into the battle. Dilly, he's lobbing out Serpent Sting onto 3 targets, so I'm curious. Cyfoxy goes for a Cyclone and gets Nether Warded back onto himself. Perhaps Cyclone could be enough to alleviate some pressure, but Cyfoxy's just not having a good time right now. Fear onto Gex, stun locked up, has to trinket. He's still very low on health. He's just dying through survival instincts. He retreats back to the pillar, but now Dilly's left out there. He's pulled back. But now they're going to stack up for triple Blizzard, triple Rain of Fire, triple Frozen Orb. And this is just... Oh man, how are they going to pull this off?
Well, this is the most fun thing about playing Frostmage Destro, is when everyone's at the pillar just getting blizzarded, Frozen Orb. They play Fellfisher as well. So if you do stack up and you're not moving out of those snares, then healing is reduced. It's an absolute nightmare. And this is how Cloud9 play it. They play in the open, they force you back to the pillar, and then they cleave you down at the pillar. But a nice attempt here. Chanimal actually taking a surprising amount of damage. Cubsy holding on to his trinket, holding on to Life Cocoon. Wealthy Man doing a great job faking that premonition. Now big damage onto Cyfoxy. Nice Cyclone onto Chanimal, not allowing him to get any damage going out on that crowd control setup. Full Fear now onto Gex, and it does look like Wealthy Man will be trying to push in, but looks like with that line of sight, Cyfoxy, Dilly, and Gex are able to hold on, and they've actually had a good amount of damage onto Chanimal. Definitely a few openings here for Turtle. Can't count them out just yet.
All right, let's see if they can keep it going here. They're even attacking Dilly's little raptor pet, just hitting whatever they can. Getting icicles too. They're going after Cyfoxy. Dilly's stuck at the pillar in a blizzard at the moment. Blink counterspell by Wealthy Man. Cheeky play there. Curious if he gets punished for it. They're switching over to him, looking for Cyclones. They actually Cyclone Wealthy Man. But Gex gets Shadow Furied into a Full Fear. Chanimal fakes it out, but a Freezing Trap's on to Cubsy. Chanimal could be in trouble. Goes for a Mortal Coil into a Fear on Cyfoxy. Good control while Cubsy's sitting through a Freezing Trap. Now no longer crowd controlled, likely to heal Chanimal back to full. Cyfoxy getting blasted, has to run away. Ring of Peace knocks him back in the open for a second. Cubsy rolls up for a double leg sweep. Fortunately not hitting it there on Cyfoxy, only onto Gex, but Gex already down at half mana, a minute away from dampening, and that's just ultimately going to be the win condition for Cloud9, is they can the Priest and just whittle the health bars down until they just kind of fall over.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking good so far for Cloud9. Cubsy 100% mana, Gex already down to 50%, but they are going for a big attempt here onto Chanimal. Nice Infernal Stun, though, completely shuts that down, and now it's Chanimal's time to get aggressive. Cyfoxy's going to have to retreat to the pillar once again, and this is exactly what Cloud9 loves. You go for an attempt, they get smacked away back to the pillar. There's the Blizzard, there's the Frozen Orb, and this is just how Cloud9 plays this matchup and a lot of matchups, quite frankly, and it can be really difficult because while you're running away, you're taking damage, and while you're entering the fight, they have so much damage available. And if Chanimal sits on his Infernals, he sits on his Mortal Coil, his Dark Soul for every time Turtle tries to make a push. Turtle is just always so afraid to do anything that they're always constantly running away, and it's just going to be almost impossible for Gex to actually drink. So yeah, they're essentially on a time limit to make something happen, but with the way Cloud9's playing and how they build their characters, it's really difficult for them to get that momentum they need.
Full mana on Cubsy. He is straight chilling here in game number 1. Dampening kicks in at 3%. Gex is almost down to 40% mana. Dilly getting controlled by Polymorph. Cyfox is trying to run away, but they left the Hunter out in midfield. They could set up here. Leg sweep available. Cubsy goes for a Ring of Peace, trying to prevent them from retreating. Cyfox is pinned at the pillar. Curious to see if Cubsy maybe puts his Transcendence in the middle of the map and then rolls in for a triple leg sweep. It could be a good way to capitalize on the stacked up positioning. He does risk his own life to do it, but he's Conflict and Strife. I think maybe considering it could get a lot of cooldowns. They have Icy Veins available to back it up. Frozen Orb is just ticking away here on both Dilly and Cyfoxy. And Gex is trying to heal as efficiently as possible. And the Disciplined Priest, you get Atonement up with Powered Shield onto your team, and then you use Smite to damage and heal your teammates with the damage. But it's a very minor amount of healing, so you've got to always be mashing out damage to stay ahead of it. Freezing Trap lands, but Chanimal has Mortal Coil. Deflects the initial engagement, fears off the Mortal Coil. Cubsy's out of crowd control. Chanimal immediately goes back to full health. Multi-man's casting Frostbolts freely. Ring of Peace knocks Dilly out into the open. These Ring of Peace, as well as leg sweeps from Cubsy, are definitely going to be what wins Cloud9 the game later on, but they are more than happy to just keep waiting for Dampening and watching that Priest just run out of mana.
I look at Cubsy just walking over and say, hey, you want a drink? I'll give you a nice little crackle, a little tickle there, stopping him, keeping him in combat, and that's exactly what's going to happen. They go after Wealthy Man, but look at Cubsy. He's just positioned so far away. At this point, Chanimal playing the Imp, and it just feels like it's a matter of time before we see Cloud9 win this game. They've been forced an Ice Block. They did have decent damage onto Chanimal, but it just seems like Cubsy's always been able to Trinket, Life Cocoon if he needs it. I don't even think they've gotten Life Cocoon in this game yet. So definitely a struggle here for Turtle, and I don't really know what they're going to be able to get done. I mean, Gex 40% mana, Cyfoxy just almost dying. He's far away from his team, unfortunately. Wealthy Man getting interrupted. Dilly trying to set his team up, but Wealthy Man using Shimmer to get away back into the open, and it just feels like Turtle, they can't be in the open long enough to develop any sort of pressure, any sort of momentum in the match, and Cloud9 as a result just using their classes, their positional advantage as much as possible, really playing to the strength of their composition. I feel like that's one of the reasons why we see Cloud9 play Mage Lock. They really are just a different beast at this comp. I mean, the comp is really good, but they play it better than anyone. They've proven it. They played it basically the entirety of BFA, and they just do such a phenomenal job.
It's a bit ironic that like Turtle are named Turtle when Cloud9 are the ones that kind of just take it slow and steady, wins the race. But the Cyfoxy and Dilly are caught out in midfield. Gex is going to drop a barrier to try and soak up some of that damage. Really well positioned. It is reducing a lot of damage, but they're not getting any momentum. Not even denting them. They're trying to go after Wealthy Man here, but Dilly is split. Are they going to go for split damage? Maybe an interesting strategy deep into Dampening if they can stay on target, but they are absolutely getting decimated. This is not good. They're trying to run away back to the pillar with that Stampeding Roar. Cubsy's rolling up with Crackling Jade Lightning on top of the Frozen Orb. Chaos Bolt lobbed in off the side onto Dilly. Double Shadow Fury snipes out here. Dilly's very far away from Gex. Gex is trying not to stack in the Blizzard by healing at that pillar while his teammates are on the other one. An interesting adaptation here. Moving in close to the 9-minute mark and basically no mana left in the tank. There's no Miracle go on Cubsy. He's Conflict and Strife. He's got Gladiator's Medallion. Maybe the only option would be Overwhelming Chanimal. Are they running Maledicts? I'm curious maybe if they're sitting with Gladiator's Maledicts in their back pocket. No Gladiator's Maledicts. Machimba's Bandages actually for Cyfox. He's full tank build. I don't know it's going to work, but they're trying to drag this on into Dampening, and I think Chanimal is going to be the target ultimately. See if Cloud9 are ready for it. We're getting into that deep Dampening territory, 27%. Chanimal is starting to feel the pain here. Maybe Turtle were holding back, and they're going to lead with a surprising amount of burst and try and catch Cubsy off guard.
Oh, I mean, Cubsy still has the Life Cocoon. They're going after Wealthy Man. A decent damage coming in, but Gex is running out of time in terms of mana. Just going for big smites. 28% Dampening. This is finally Turtle's time to actually get aggressive in the match, but Chanimal with his Dark Soul is going to force Cyfoxy back to the pillar. And at this point, with Unending Resolve, with that Ring of Peace, with Shadow Fear, with a big Chaos Bolt, it could just be GG. Cyfoxy does manage to survive a little bit longer, but as dampening ramps up, it becomes a lot more difficult for the turtle to maneuver, in and out of the pillar, while Gex actually tops them off. So you can move in and out, but if Gex actually doesn't top everyone off, then all of a sudden it becomes a lot more difficult to pull off these kind of maneuvers.
Let's see if they can keep going here. 32% dampening and sub 5% mana remains. Decent damage here on the Chanimal. Dilly's not even able to get over there. That was all Cyfoxy, but now he gets intercepted by Infernal Stun. Big damage onto both sides here. Chanimal's ramping up. Cyfoxy's in trouble. Gex is in a poly. Shadow Melt. Cubsy rolls up for a stun on the Trinket. Beautiful leg sweep timing here. Fear out of the polymorph. Cloud9 absolutely decimates Cyfoxy, and they play it out for 10.5 minutes to just totally get shut down. Cloud9 are an unbreakable wall.
It's really a difficult matchup here on the side of Turtle. Cloud9 has just been so dominant for this past season in the AWC, in all of the cups that we've seen them. Really the question on the NA side is who is going to be able to take down Cloud9 with their mage lock, and Turtle is just going to have a really difficult series here, Zico.
Yeah, they ran out of water there at the end, unfortunately for Turtle. But I mean, even at that point, they got so much crowd control. You got sheep into fear, and that little ray of frost at the end as well. Just too much damage anytime, and this is just what it happens, right? You got Chanimal pulling back all the way to the opposite side of the map from Gex, which is the enemy healer, right? Then you have Wealthy Man standing between Chanimal and Gex, in the middle there, as close to Gex as possible. So if Gex ever tries to leave the pillar and cross the map and play offensive, he's going to get crowd controlled. And what you just saw happen there at the end is going to happen. It's pretty rough for jungle, especially on the larger maps.
And Turtle is, they're still really a strong team. They're really solid on that jungle composition. It's just into Warlock Mage, Venruki, there's just not a lot it seems like they can even really do. Especially against Cloud9's Warlock Mage.
Yeah, the cycle of life can be so cruel. That's for sure.
Wait, did they tell you that was going to be the lower third?
No, they
There's
didn't.
no way you just
What?
said that along with the lower third.
No, I swear I didn't say that. I didn't read it. That's actually insane. So production, apparently we're on the same. Yeah, no, I swear.
Wow, the synergy.
You like that?
Venruki God, they just
see.
Yeah,
very nice.
It can be cruel indeed, but Turtle not out of the running just yet. This is a best of 5 series. Now it's their map pick, as they did just lose that first game. What can they maybe be looking to do here, Supatis, if they want to try and gain any edge over Cloud9?
I mean, they could try playing Smooth on Mistweaver. That's what we saw Ed and Light do into the Mage Lock matchup. Run the Mistweaver healer. But I still feel like Cloud9 is like an entirely different Mage Lock that it's just not going to work. There's not really any just like outstanding other options. Like, this is all they got. They tried to make it work. They tried to get in a damp. The Priest was Zoom. It didn't even really matter that he was Zoom. I think they just got totally crowd controlled when they were trying to even make anything happen. And that's the thing. It's not like Cloud9 are simply just like standing there and dragging the game on. If Turtle tries to make a move, they just get like totally shut down, neglect. There's nothing they can do. They just get completely blanked out by them. So I don't know, but the Mistweaver, if they're going to do this dampening strategy, would be better, I think.
Okay. So, what do you think, Ben?
Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not convinced that jungle can win this matchup. A lot of people, you don't often see Frost Mage on the ladder. But I think if you play it right, it's not super easy to pull off. Like, your whole team needs to understand your win condition to actually pull it off. But if you can, like exactly what Cloud9 doing, they basically what they do is they just take away any condition where they can actually lose. So Turtle, they need to actually develop. They're not going to just one-shot someone. With the way Chanimal Wealthy Man are gearing right now and standing on their pets, they take away the Drestagath one-shots. It just makes it so Turtle, if they want to have pressure, they have to be in the open for an extended period of time. And with the way they're positioning, that means Gex has to actually get off the pillar if he wants to heal Dilly and Cyfoxy, inevitably leading to a polymorph, a fear. And as soon as that happens, that means that Dilly and Cyfoxy have to run away. And that just rinse repeats over and over and over until Gex is out of mana or Cyfoxy and Dilly get one shot, and it makes it really difficult. However, on the smaller map, I think they have a lot better of an option because Gex doesn't necessarily have to come off the pillar in order to heal Dilly and Cyfoxy, and that might allow them the uptime they need to actually get some damage rolling.
And is Blackroot Cold, that was Turtle's map choice, is that something that's going to enable them to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the center pillar is... I feel like the center pillar is one of the best for like a priest to set up.
Mm-hmm. Well, Cloud9 versus Turtle. Cloud9 getting that game 1 victory. Turtle, like we've been talking about, is going to have a bit of an uphill battle here. Cloud9 is just one of those teams, time and time again, they do so well on that mage lock. But Turtle, a super strong team still. They do have other options potentially in the future. We may see them maybe switch it up a little bit. I would hope to see them. But they are, of course, known for that jungle cleave. And you know, like we've said, this is a round robin format. They're not out of the running if they lose this. It's not double elimination or anything. We don't have a bracket going for them, but hopefully we'll see them turn it around in this game. The gates are opening soon here. The teams are ready. It is Cloud9 versus Turtle. Game number 2. Can Turtle tie it up, or is Cloud9 going to put themselves on match point with game 2 victory?
It's going to be pretty important here to see who actually claims the pillar, because if Gex stays in the room, I feel like this is a pretty advantageous position for C9. But maybe they just want to sit in the room and just try to wait for like dampening a bit before they make a big push and just try to conserve their mana to the point when they get there. But I don't know if that's going to be the right line of play. We'll see if it works out for them. Right now, it looks like they're going to go for Wealthy Man here in the opening stages, at least.
They are staying on target a lot better here initially, but Polymorph slips through. Crowd control into both healers, but Cyfoxy, it's just anytime he's trying to get anything done, he's just dead. He's already so low on health, trying to run for the hills, but Gex is still interferes. This is going to be over under a minute. Huge damage. Cloud9 closes it out in under a minute here against Turtle.
Oh.
If you can win the long game and you can win the short game, I mean, you know what they say about wizards? They just never die, man. Just never die.
Oh yeah, and you remember potion mixing every
Yeah, you
day?
remember?
Yeah, that's why we wizard. Oh my god, I haven't heard those songs in forever.
I have no idea what you guys are referencing.
That's,
I mean,
We're going to have to update your
What?
culture after this.
This is
What is that?
We have to
it's the
update
Wrath
you.
of the Lich King anthem.
You're uncultured, Eye, if you've not heard that song.
It's a
okay?
song that someone
song.
made on you. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was like a whole band. They were all dressed as wizards too, singing about mixing potions and sheeping people.
In game, or was it fan made?
No, it had nothing to do with WoW even.
Oh.
It was just people dressing up as wizards.
I was like trying to think of like a WoW video, music video that someone had made. Sorry. Okay, well, someone tag me in it. Ben and I are clearly uncultured, but that is going to be a game 2 victory here. Turtle only one loss away from losing this series against Cloud9. Again, it is their map choice. It just seems like there's really not much they can do here to try and secure a victory against Cloud9. But maybe, what do we think? What kind of map do they want to go? They picked Black or Cold for that last one. Supatees. What are their options? What's their best option?
It's probably Dalaran, I feel like, is the next go-to. Pretty standard cleave matchup. I don't think Dilly or Cyfox are playing any alts. Like, I'm trying to think if there's like any like if they should just try a random comp, because this seems so hopeless.
Yeah.
Like if there was gonna be a random comp, I don't know. Like Dilly's played Shadow Priest, Feral, Mistweaver, just something random. Just like throw something out there that's just totally like, and try and catch Cloud9 off guard. I don't know, because this is like. You just watch them die in less than a minute. You think my idea is that much worse? I don't know.
Zico sounds really distressed right now.
Cloud9 won 4 cups. They've lost 1 series the entire year. The secret weapon to beat them all along. Dilly on the Shadow Priest.
God.
Whiskey couldn't do it, but Dilly,
Dilly could do it. Yeah, Dilly could do it.
Dilly's gonna do it with one
believe
hand.
that, man. Oh my gosh! All
I
right.
believe in
Well,
Dilly.
we've got No Dilly on the Shadow Priest. He is going to be locking in Jungle Cleave with his team once again. Cloud9 with that same composition. We are going to Dalaran Sewers. However, that last game we saw, Foxy got just melted there. Quickest
Flushed.
game we've seen all day, under a minute. Yeah, what's something that they could maybe do? Like, what did they do differently in that second game that they just weren't? What?
Yeah, so this is basically what
go.
happens. In a situation like that, it can happen. So basically, Wealthy Man and Chanimal, they built up a lot of damage. Wealthy Man was able to build up his icicles, build up his flurry procs, and Gex running relentless. What can happen is if he falls a little bit too far behind on healing and he gets caught in crowd control, that's when you see Infernals, Mortal Coil. Both Chanimal and Wealthy Man are running the Obsidian Claw. So you just overwhelm. Foxy does have some really strong defensive cooldowns to keep himself alive, but if Gex can never heal him because he can never break crowd control with a polymorph, what we saw is a polymorph into a fear. And during that time, I mean, you have a mage with Icy Veins, with Obsidian Claw, with full icicles. You have Chanimal with Mortal Coil, Infernals, Dark Soul. It's just almost impossible for Foxy to survive. So what either needs to happen is Foxy can't stay in the open for that long, or Gex needs to just preemptively use stuff if he's going to get crowd control, because there was honestly nothing. Once Gex got caught into that polymorph, I feel like Foxy was basically, there's nothing he could do to live.
All right, game number 3 of Cloud9 versus Turtle, 2-0.
All right, Chanimal getting that demonic gateway. Good defensive posture. Cataclysm on the right, Blizzard on the left, Frozen Orb straight down the middle. Foxy knows that the AoE was coming. He's not even playing next to his team. He's just sitting in stealth, trying to minimize some of the damage here. But Chaos Bolts are even flying in onto Gex. They jump in onto Wealthy Man, but Cubsy's in a good position to pick him up. Chanimal even just repositions the gateway on top of Wealthy Man. Like, here you go. If you want it, it's there. I got you. Polymorph's being casted here. Gex is out of line of sight. I feel like there's no way he's going to find it. Wealthy Man instead decides to blink back. Dalaran Sewers is nice because of this waterfall that comes down in the middle, and it becomes a point of line of sight, so you can utilize it when pushing out into midfield. Good crowd control here by Turtle. So far, the best that we've seen. Chanimal responds by trinketing out and Mortal Coiling, getting a little boost to health there and crowd controlling the enemies. But Glaire's Medallion is a good objective to get out of the way. Infernal's called in. Foxy stunned up, gripped back on the stun. Ring of Peace actually knocks him out into the open. That could be scary. Chaos Bolts are flying through. A full polymorph, but looks like he got premonition. Maybe the Infernal broke it. They're just going to focus on AoEing them down. Gex's mana, though, is more devastated than anything else. A minute in, he's already spent like close to 30%, I think.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Gex here. And he's going to have to spend even more because more Chaos Bolts are flying in here onto Foxy. Anytime they're trying to leave the pillar, Chanimal is just already in perfect positioning, looking to play that goalkeeper role. Since Wealthy Man now is the target, you see Chanimal just looking to position himself between Gex and Cubsy. And that way, he's going to be able to do whatever he wants. And now, Chanimal suspects that he might be the target, so he's going to go back. And now Wealthy Man needs to play goalkeeper here. He's actually trying to build up some counter pressure. They're just trading the unending result early on. They want to get some counter pressure, and I think they're going to be able to find Immortal Connects. Big damn here to follow it up. Foxy getting counterspell there on his Cyclone. And nicely done there. That was going to be on Chanimal's Dark Soul and deny that. So good play there. But now Foxy is going to be able to clone Wealthy Man, and they are looking to set up another push here, man.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely are. Foxy, Gex, and Dilly will reposition. And honestly, if Chanimal is in trouble, he can always position even further away if he needs to. The positioning right now makes it really difficult for Wealthy Man to get polymorphs onto Gex when Foxy and Dilly do end up pushing. And that's the benefit of the small map. However, if Chanimal positions further away, then all of a sudden Gex doesn't have that same sort of freedom. So Cloud9 taking a little bit more of a risky position when they have their cooldowns available. Now that they don't, I think it's unlikely we see that same kind of positioning, but maybe. And if they do, if Chanimal's playing a little bit too far forward, that's going to be a chance for Turtle to maybe capitalize. Foxy getting caught into a stun. Big power word shield. The Rapture shield should be enough for him to live. The polymorph does land from Wealthy Man, but I just don't think they have the damage to push through Rapture. It is such a powerful defensive cooldown from the Disciplined Priest.
Freezing Trap ending prematurely there. Did Channel maybe swap pets? I'm trying to look for an imp on the battlefield. I don't see
Yeah, he's got imp.
Yeah, there's an imp right next to him. So switching over, that's going to totally remove Freezing Trap as an option. Mind Control on Wealthy Man, trying to pull him off the side. Cheeky play by Gex, but not able to find it. They're going to retreat back to the pillar. 3.5 minutes here, and Gex is already below half mana. They have been getting cooldowns at least from Cloud9, so I would say aggressively Turtle are looking the best in game number 3, but if they don't find a drink and they can sort of maintain this longer, it's not going to work out. Cubsy's actually just sitting down for a drink. Dilly jumping in, trying to get back on target. Channel jumps down so that Cyfoxy has to line of sight Gex. Gex is moving forward with the team. Vanish onto the Mindbender, interrupted by Cyfoxy. Good teamwork there to protect that. They need to make sure the Shadow Fiend is attacking and generating mana back for Gex. Freezing Trap lands. Doesn't look like the Imp. No, the Imp is able to dispel that Freezing Trap, so Channel is likely to take no damage. Ring a piece on Cyfoxy, interrupting him. They're trying to retreat away, but they left Dilly behind. Cubsy has leg sweep available. Is he going to go for a leg sweep onto Gex? They're stopping the drink right now. Cubsy just rolling over, making sure it happens, and Transcendencing away, looking to reposition it. Ultimately, Cloud9 do want to win on mana in the late game if they can't get a counter engagement victory before that point. Dilly repositions in his chair, getting ready for the late game. Dark Soul available. They've got to be ready for it. That's a scary moment that Chanimal could activate at any time. Cyfoxy jumps over to Wealthy Man. Dilly gets feared. Wealthy Man blinks back to Chanimal. Chaos Bolt's lobbed out onto Cyfoxy. That was a big one, even without Dark Soul. Gex stabilizes him with a Penance. Dilly's moving in on top of Chanimal. Chanimal jumps off the side, baiting them to chase him. They're not going to chase. They switch to Wealthy Man instead while Gex tries to reposition. Oh, he gets Pet Nova. Wealthy Man tries to catch him with a Polymorph on that. Gex avoids it. Good avoidance by Gex. Maintaining his mana at that sub 50% mark as Dampening kicks in.
Yeah, that was actually a drink tick there for Gex a little bit earlier on. So he has been able to hold on to his mana somewhat okay, but they need to get something going now. Channel has Unending Resolve still back off cooldown. Didn't have to use it in that attempt there. Wealthy Man with beautiful denial. And honestly, Cloud9 looks like, this is how their spellbook looks when the game just started. They have all of their defense available. And on the flip side, Gex still looking for those drink ticks. He's starting to slowly lose that mana bar. So I think if you are Turtle at this point, you need to try to force that. Oh, big push here onto Dilly. He's going to trinket there with that human racial and use his exhilaration heal there, as well as that feign death to cancel any incoming cast. So I think if you're Turtle at this point, you have to push forward. You have to try to look for some fears. You have to try to look for some traps and potentially try to accelerate the game. Because if you stay behind like this, Gex is only going to lose mana, even faster. Look at him going for the first aid right now to just save a little bit of mana.
First aid debut in the AWC, potentially. It's kind of funny. Wealthy Man taking a little bit of damage, Chanimal as well, but look at Cubsy sitting behind on that Mistweaver Monk, now caught into a full stun, potentially a full trap as well, and it does get singed off immediately. And the thing is, Turtle's doing the best they can. They're always using the Entangling Roots on that trap to basically cause a 50-50 that dispel. But Cyfoxy, he's caught in the open. It is going to be his Trinket, the Survival Instincts, and basically everything to survive. Wealthy Man just sitting on top of Gex right now, getting Polymorphs now into a full fear. Dilly is forced to run away, and this is exactly what Cloud9 wants to happen. All three members behind the pillar once again. Triple Shadow Fury, triple Blizzard, triple Ice Nova, Fell Fisher on the ground, and this is an absolute nightmare. Turtle realizing it, trying to make a push and try to get some damage rolling.
20% mana remains for Turtle here. They're going to need a miracle if they want to make it out of this one. Gex in a full polymorph. Dilly feared into the distance. Cyfoxy ducks for cover. Dilly's left all alone over here, trying to use that aspect of the cheetah to get back to his healer, but Gex is now in a full fear. They Cyclone Wealthy Man, they stall. Dilly's pushing out, interrupts the Chaos Bolt, but Wealthy Man's going to have free reign in a moment. They jump in for the Intim stun into the Freezing Trap. Unfortunate, Imp dispels it immediately, so this bash on the Chanimal is likely to get no value. These pet Frost Novas on the Gex look so annoying. He wants to cross the map, and then Wealthy Man snipes him with one of those freezes from his Water Elemental. Wealthy Man doing everything in his power to make this as difficult as possible for Turtle. Dilly gets pulled back to the pillar, but pulled into a frozen orb. Blizzard to combo that up in the near future as well. They're forced to retreat away from the boxes. Chanimal just building up some soul shards with those incinerates, getting ready for a push. Would like to maybe see him relay the gateway. It's already in a pretty good spot. Chaos Bolt cast. It's going to land on the Foxy. Once again, just tapping out Gex on mana. Cubsy rolls in, tries to land a double stun. Gex dodges it. Nice maneuver there by Gex. Positionally and strategically, I don't think the Turtle are necessarily making any major mistakes in this matchup. It's just such a difficult one to overcome. Can they manage to find a kill deep into dampening? Their clock is running out.
We're going to see if they can. Infernals are down here into the Shadow Fury. Big damage here onto Foxy. He doesn't have his survival instincts here for a couple of more seconds. Cubsy now going to get trapped with the Entangling Roots, and the Imp dispels the Entangling Roots. So this trap is going to be full. Chanimal's going to have to trade something here potentially. He does have his Infernals out, so he's trying to just counter pressure, and it looks like it's going to be enough. Wealthy Man with DR Sheep there onto Gex, a triple DR Sheep even, and now he's going for a little bit of counter pressure with the Frozen Orb, with the Frost Balls. They're going to send everybody back to the pillar. Wealthy Man is going to be looking to get a Blizzard there already at the location. So that was Wealthy Man using his Icy Veins there to shut that push down. That's going to allow Chanimal to hold on to his Unending Resolve for even longer. And you can see there's not much time left at all in this game. They're really running the clock here on the side of Turtle Van.
They absolutely are. I mean, Dilly right now caught into a Fell Fisher. Back to the pillar once again. Wealthy Man actually using Shimmer to move forward. Paralyzed onto Gex. Cubsy just going in for crowd control and gets feared. Nicely done there by Gex, forcing Cubsy away. And actually the trap drops. Wealthy Man doing a great job sitting on that trap, avoiding the crowd control for Cubsy. And now it's going to be up to Cloud9 once again to get aggressive. Foxy now into a full stun. And once again, Turtle is just on the back foot. Full polymorph lands. Wealthy Man pushing in. Icicles will be landing. Can he get another polymorph? Nice denial there by Dilly. But now the full fear lands. Gex with a nice premonition. Good job there by Turtle in order to survive that. Really good job with the crowd control denial. But, I mean, they're just holding on at this point. There's just, look at this. Cloud9, Cubsy has Trinket. They have Life Cocoon. Chanimal has Unending Resolve. Infernals are almost back up. Wealthy Man has his Icy Veins coming up in a minute. Every ice block available. Cloud9 just has Turtle in a chokehold at this point.
Yep, going after the Raptor, taking that out. Dilly's pet's actually dead. He's going for the revive. He gets it off. No disruption there. Repositioning, getting ready, waiting for leg sweep, maybe a Ring of Peace to knock them off the pillar. Foxy gets feared on his wild charge. Dilly harpoons into the fight, stack up for a double Shadow Fury. Chanimal looking to find it here with Dark Soul, gets stunned on. He triggers out. Chanimal knows that he needs to get something done here. Infernal's called in. One Chaos Bolt into the Shadow Fury combo, into a second Chaos Bolt, into the leg sweep. This could be devastating for Foxy. They played it out for 10.5 minutes, but they're getting crunched here in what could be the final seconds. Gex spends every last little bit of mana to stabilize Foxy, but now they've switched their attention to Dilly. He's down to half health. How is Gex going to pull this off? He looks for a Shadow Mend. He gets counterspelled on it. Foxy looks for a Cyclone. Gets line of sighted on it. Totally shut down at this point. They're just rotted away. Icy Veins gets popped. Wealthy Man looks to close it out. Dilly's trying to retreat away from the Icy Veins. Foxy needs to consider it as well. He's still playing in the deep end of the Cloud9 swimming pool. This might end up costing him his life. They go for the stun. They go for the freezing trap. They need to win the 50-50. They don't win the 50-50. Cubsy's out of the freezing trap. I think it's certainly the case that Cubsy should stabilize without any further crowd control. Gex is working with nothing here. That was the barrier to buy time for his team, but the Imp was getting lucky there for Cloud9. Frozen Orb is down. Are Dilly and Foxy going to retreat away from it, looking for Cyclone, counterspelled? Decent pressure on Chanimal and Wealthy Man at this point. If they could somehow keep this going, I mean, Cubsy has suddenly spent a lot of his mana as well. If they can maintain this pressure, they might be able to pull something off.
It's not looking too bad here for Turtle, actually. But so far, I would say Cloud9 still in a pretty big lead. I would say maybe one, max two setups left here for Turtle before they will be eliminated here. Well, not eliminated from the tournament. It's a round robin, but eliminated from this series here. And we're going to see Dilly take another big Chaos Ball to the face. Chanimal surely going to have to activate his Dark Soul or his Unending Resolve. He's going to use his Mortal Coil and just the Vitality Conduit should be enough to keep him alive right now. Going for a big Chaos Bolt here onto Foxy. It's going to connect. Survival Instinct's not going to be traded out here by Foxy. Instead, he's going to take a massive hit there from those Chaos Bolts. Dilly in a full fear, Gex in a counterspell, and Wealthy Man is doing what he can to keep the pressure up. This is the trap. Chanimal's trying to eat it. He doesn't get it. The Imp does, though, and I think that was the final trap. They need to overwhelm Chanimal here with damage. Has the first Life Cocoon of the entire series, I believe, was just forced there by Turtle. Congratulations.
Yeah, very nicely done, but they just shred through it. Dampening is really high at this point. This game is getting spicy. Chanimal, of course, has that unending resolve. The Infernals drop down. Cyfoxy with not too much defense left. He gets caught into a full stun. He trinkets out of the Mortal Coil, gets the survival instincts off, and Gex keeps his team barely alive with that Vitality Conduit, but now with no healing left. I mean, Dilly could fall. Cyfoxy could fall as well. There's no survival instincts. Wealthy Man forcing them back to the pillar, but it's at this point in the game where that pillar is an absolute nightmare. Blizzard and Frozen Orb at 50% dampening are very scary at this point. Rapture Shield's coming in, but Gex, how could he ever top his team? Cyfoxy's going to be throwing in some heals. Cubsy, though, actually might sit down for some drinks. Big Drestagath on Wealthy Man. They're still going for the pressure. Nicely done there by Dilly. Ray of Frost channeled onto Dilly. Wealthy Man gets interrupted. Temporal Shield is available as he uses his emblem as well to boost his health, so he doesn't have to use that ice block. But now Gex, I mean, he's still just no mana. Cyfoxy and Dilly, I don't know how much longer they could possibly survive.
Wealthy Man is looking to close this out. Ice Lance after Ice Lance. Frozen Orb on the whole team. They're trying to reposition, but look at them. This could be a triple kill for Cloud9 in the immediate future. They pull Cyfoxy back to the pillar. Dilly's retreating, but they stacked up for a double Shadow Fury Flurry combo into Dilly. He feign deaths the hit. He masters calls around the corner. Cyfoxy's trying to support. They're all at 30% health. They have absolutely no mana. Wealthy Man blinks in on the left. Chanimal repositioning. Cubsy's just going to go drink while his team finishes the job here. Mortal Coil into a Chaos Bolt. Huge damage on a Cyfoxy. Drain life around the corner. Cubsy rolls up. Triple leg sweep. Absolute decimation here in the final seconds of this game. How on earth are they alive? All at 10%. Cloud9 just want the triple. They're playing it out to make it look clean. Dilly holds on by a powered shield. Cyfoxy regrows. Cubsy spinning train kick BM on the whole team here. Cubsy just punching them to death. Just fall over. Just end this. Cloud9 close it out.
That's going to be another 3-0 Cloud9 versus Turtle. You know, they honestly put up a pretty good fight there, especially in that last game on the side of Turtle, even trading off like a couple of defenses on the side of Cloud9, Zico. But in the end, you know, it's Cloud9. It's a super difficult matchup.
I think Turtle actually, they came pretty close, all things considered. You know, they're obviously in a massively disadvantaged matchup, but they were able